You finally have a free evening. Nothing to do. Nowhere to be. You sit down. You breathe. You try to relax. And your brain goes, great. Now let's think about that thing you said in 2019. Also, did you lock the door? And by the way, what are you doing with your life? You're not anxious. You're not stressed about anything specific. Your brain just won't stop. It's like it genuinely doesn't know how to be off. And here's what nobody tells you. That's not a personality flaw. That's a neurological pattern. And it has a very specific name, a very specific cause, and actually, a very specific reason why it happens to you more than most people. Welcome to Cognitive Lab, where we decode the hidden bugs in human psychology. If you're someone who notices everything, overthinks everything, and finds genuine rest harder than it should be, subscribe. You're exactly who this channel is for. Here's something I want you to notice about yourself. When other people relax, they actually relax. They sit on a couch, they watch something, their brain goes quiet. You've seen them do it. It looks almost suspicious. When you relax, you're watching the show and simultaneously thinking about the conversation you had 3 days ago, noticing the sound coming from the neighbors, wondering if you responded to that email, planning next week, and also, somehow, feeling vaguely guilty about not being productive right now. You're resting, and your brain is running 5 background programs simultaneously. Here's the thing that should genuinely surprise you. This isn't anxiety. It isn't ADHD. It isn't even overthinking in the traditional sense. What you're experiencing is something researchers call sensory processing sensitivity, and it affects roughly 15 to 20% of the population. People with high sensory processing sensitivity don't just notice more. Their nervous system literally processes incoming information more deeply than average. Every sound, every social cue, every unresolved thought gets more processing time, more neural resources, more attention, whether they asked for it or not. And the cruel irony? The more your brain processes, the harder it is to stop processing. Even when you desperately want to. During the day, every department is running. Tasks coming in, decisions going out, people talking, normal activity. When most people go home at night, the building goes dark, lights off, quiet. But your building? When everyone else goes home, the night shift shows up. And the night shift in a highly aware brain is the default mode network, the system that activates when you're not doing anything externally focused. In an average brain, the daemon hums along quietly during rest, processing memories, doing mild background maintenance. In a highly aware brain, the daemon runs like a full-day shift, reviewing conversations, scanning for unresolved problems, simulating future scenarios, cross-referencing past experiences with present ones. A 2021 study published in the journal Brain and Cognition found that individuals with high sensory processing sensitivity showed significantly greater default mode network activity during rest compared to low-sensitivity individuals. In plain English, when you try to rest, your brain activates more, not less. It treats downtime as an opportunity to catch up on everything it was too busy to process during the day. Rest, for your brain, is not an off switch. It's a different kind of on. Here's the evolutionary part, and I promise it'll make you feel at least slightly better about yourself. High awareness wasn't a bug in human evolution. It was a survival advantage. In small tribal groups, most people could relax after the threat passed. But a small subset, roughly that same 15 to 20%, stayed alert even after safety was established. They kept scanning. They kept processing. They noticed the subtle change in the wind before anyone else, or the slight shift in someone's behavior that meant something was wrong. These were the people the group depended on for early warnings. Their hyperactive default mode networks weren't malfunctions. They were the tribe's early warning system. The problem is you're running a 200,000-year-old early warning system in a world where the threats are emails, social dynamics, and the ambient uncertainty of modern life. Your brain is scanning for tigers. It keeps finding unanswered texts. And here's what makes this so exhausting, and also so specific to you. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a real threat and an unresolved thought. Both get the same processing treatment. Both keep the system running. Both prevent the shutdown that everyone else calls relaxing. Now here's where I have a small complaint about every piece of relaxation advice ever given. Just meditate. Try deep breathing. Put your phone down and unwind. And look, these things work. For most people. But for a highly aware brain, standard relaxation advice has a fundamental problem. It tells you to stop thinking without giving your brain something to do instead. And a highly aware brain given nothing to do doesn't go quiet. It generates its own content. It starts reviewing the thing you said at a party in 2017. It begins planning your retirement. It rewrites 3 conversations you had last week with better responses. You can't white-knuckle a hyperactive default mode network into silence. That's not how the neuroscience works. Telling a highly aware person to just relax and stop thinking is like telling a sports car to idle quietly. Technically possible, against its fundamental nature, and the effort of trying to do it uses more energy than just letting it run. What actually works is completely different, and it has nothing to do with thinking less. 3 things that work specifically for highly aware brains, not brains in general. 1. Directed rest, not empty rest. Your brain needs to rest, but it can't rest in a vacuum. Instead of trying to think nothing, give it something small and contained to do. A walk with no destination, cooking a familiar recipe, drawing something simple, reading fiction, not nonfiction. The key, the activity must be low stakes, sensory, and require just enough attention to occupy the DMN without demanding full cognitive resources. This is what psychologists call engaged rest, and for highly aware people, it's the only rest that actually restores. 2. Process before you rest. Your brain keeps running at night because it has unfinished business. The fix isn't suppressing the thoughts, it's scheduling them. Before you try to relax, spend 10 minutes writing down every unresolved thought, task, or worry. Not to solve them, just to acknowledge them. Research by Michael Scullin at Baylor University found that writing a to-do list before bed, specifically tasks not yet done, reduce time to fall asleep by an average of 9 minutes in high rumination individuals. Your brain holds onto unresolved things because it's afraid of losing them. Give it proof they're stored. It lets go. 3. Reframe what rest means for you. Here's the most important thing in this video. You might never experience rest the way low-sensitivity people do. And that's not a failure. That's a different operating system. Your version of rest might look like a walk where you notice everything, a conversation that goes deep, a creative project that absorbs you completely. These feel like activity to an outside observer, but neurologically, they're doing what sleep does for others. Clearing the buffer, resetting the system, restoring capacity. Stop measuring your rest against people whose brains work differently. You're not broken. You're calibrated for depth. Here's what I want you to take from this. The reason you can't relax isn't weakness. It isn't anxiety. It isn't that you're doing something wrong. It's that you have a brain that was built to notice, process, and hold more than most. And that brain, the same one that makes it hard to switch off, is also the one that picks up on things others miss. That feels things more fully. That connects dots that other people walk right past. You didn't choose the sensitivity, but you live with both sides of it, the depth and the noise. And the next time you're lying there, free evening, nothing to do, brain running at full speed, maybe don't fight it. Give it something small. Write the list. Take the walk. Let it process what it needs to process. Rest, for you, was never going to look like doing nothing. It was always going to look like doing the right kind of something. Drop a comment. Tell me what your brain does when you try to relax. I read every one. Subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one.